Today, we're going to be talking about reputation marketing. So we're going to get into the whole world of reputation. And a lot of people say reputation management. And I want to kind of give you a little bit of a backstory. So I want to kind of go back to a little bit of a story of the 2007, 8, 9, 10 recession. So we're gonna go way back. We're talking 14 years ago plus, right?
Welcome to the Carpet Cleaner Success Podcast, a show created to inspire carpet cleaning business owners to build their own thriving residential and commercial cleaning business. Your host, John Clendenning, has built and sold successful cleaning businesses for multiple six figures over his 30-year career and is the founder of Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters, a digital agency that turns your online marketing into a lead generation machine. Tune in as John shares proven tips, strategies, and expert interviews to help fast-track your success in the carpet cleaning industry.
2007 is when iPhones came out, right? So we had these little new tech devices in our pocket that changed the world as we know it. Kind of like the way AI is starting to change the world as we know it now. These quantum shifts due to technology that we're experiencing and living through. And it changes the way we run businesses, it changes the way we market. And what happened is right after that, within a year later, we had the bubble, the housing bubble, and subprime mortgage, and the economy crashed around the world, and it meant people less discretionary income. There was a bigger need to market a lot more to keep your carpet cleaning business running. So that's when I first started my coaching program, 2007. And by 2008, we're just teaching people how to survive and thrive in this new changing economy until things came back. And up until that point, understanding marketing, learning marketing, studying marketing, using marketing to run my cleaning businesses, multi-million-dollar cleaning businesses in very small towns. The whole idea behind that was I realized that people needed to figure out how they could trust you. So there's a whole bunch of different ways that people could figure out if they trusted you in the market. And one of the ways was, in yellow page ads or print ads and stuff like that, you could send them to a learn how to shop in this category type message, right? So some people called it a consumer awareness message. I remember back in the day, Joe Polish talked about that. He got that from Dan Kennedy, and the godfather of marketing and millionaire maker, as they call it, and stuff like that, who I learned from as well. All of these people, and having that message that allowed people to go, can I trust these guys? I don't. They might have talked to their friend over the fence. They might have talked to, or their neighbor, that kind of thing. They might have talked to the, like they still do to this day, the carpet store, the interior designer, the maid service about a carpet cleaner, the carpet cleaner about a maid service. Those kinds of things, and had those referral networks. But they also really wanted to know what they didn't know. Come out of the recession, and we all had these little devices in our hands, and things like Yellow Pages and all started to die. People weren't there anymore. And these things like consumer messages and consumer reports didn't work as well online. And I was like, hey, why is that? And one of the reasons that kind of jumped out at me right away early on was that people started being able to ask, then buy a lot easier on social media, because the entire crowd had moved into Facebooks and stuff like that had just starting to show up now, those kinds of apps and tools way back then. And also Google started allowing reviews. And so we now got reviews showing up as well. So people could actually go and find out what other people thought without having to, get past that no like and trust barrier back then. So I was one of these weirdos that jumped on the bandwagon and started actually speaking about it at our local chamber and at some carpet cleaning conventions and stuff like that. Had nothing to sell them. I was just like, hey, by the way, reputation is really important. It's always been important, but now we need to start considering how you're going to use the new world of reputation online, and where reviews and review management and feedback management and all this kind of fit in. And I started actually speaking once a month at the Chamber of Commerce. The president of the Chamber of Commerce heard my morning presentation in front of a crowd and said, John, you've got to come back once a month and speak to an afternoon audience of that. And he filled the room every single month. And that was kind of even how I started my digital marketing career, running my cleaning businesses, doing consulting for this other franchise network, doing all of this other stuff. And now I had a gig speaking once a month that landed people that wanted reputation services online because they knew nothing about it. So that was where we actually started. And I had a little sort of cottage digital marketing agency since 2011 or 12 doing reputation based marketing. So know a lot about it, kind of know a little bit deeper than most other people, kind of walked through it all the way through. And I know how to make it work in a cleaning industry. And we're going to talk about that today. So that's my little segue or my little story. Hope you found that a little bit valuable. And let's get into like our presentation today. So as always, turn your phones off, turn your Facebook off. Unless you're watching this on your phone, then keep it on, but don't answer your messages. Mute yourself or put on your do not disturb. If you're a cleaning or home service business, serious about getting results, the next 60 minutes or so are going to be very, very impactful. And I mean that because I spend a lot of time and effort bringing this information to you because I really do love teaching this kind of stuff. So what we're going to cover today is why the most popular tools don't guarantee consistent 5-star reviews. So you want to, and even with consistent 5-star reviews, it doesn't guarantee that those reviews generate you more work, right? So you want to look good so that you get more customers. And we'll talk about that. You want to understand how multi-channel outreach can build your online reputation fast. Understand the difference between static reviews and dynamic reputation marketing. So we're going to talk about that. That's a very key concept to understand the difference between static reviews and dynamic reputation marketing. And we're going to talk about mastering feedback, why trust engineering is more powerful than what I call review hounding. And nobody wants to be a review hound. So, and if you stay to the end, I've got a bundle of goods for you here. We've got our carpet cleaning marketing resource kit. So checklists and guides and booklets and how things on how to optimize your websites and you know, all of the kind of the resources. Some of it turned into becoming the book that you can get on Amazon that I wrote a couple, almost 2 years ago now. Holy crap. But the rest of it there is in a guide, and we'll show you how to get that at the end here. So who am I for any of you that are on the call that don't know? Well, I've been a business owner since 1990, since in high school. I ran a window cleaning business out of high school due to a contest. A buddy of mine, Scott, and I won in the final years of high school. I've owned several cleaning franchise businesses, independent cleaning businesses, e-com product lines. Once I started learning that online and that digital, kind of couldn't keep my hands off. I understood marketing. I knew this. I put them together. Service business consultancy, and now a very in-demand marketing agency for the cleaning industry. So I've lectured for many association marketing workshops and conducted 3-day elite retreats where people were flown in from around the world to learn about building a better service business, a better cleaning business, and how to apply marketing to everything you do. And so I've been a long-term marketing consultant and strategist, keynote speaker, author, all that fun stuff. And I bought and sold, made franchise for double the price, kind of bought it, grew it, sold it, didn't really want to keep it. That was the whole idea, was just use the marketing muscle, help a business out, grow it up, and then sell it. And sold my own cleaning business in the middle of the pandemic, my final brick and mortar business, through all of them in the middle of the pandemic as well. And, you know, because it was a thriving entity that was easily sellable, wrote the book on it, and run the Carpet Cleaner Success Podcast. More importantly, as we always say, what do we do with our clients? So we love to get great results. We love to help people understand marketing is not just running a Facebook ad. Marketing is not just running Google ads. You can go back 20 years ago and, John, what's the best flyer that I can get 50 to 100 leads and generate $10,000 a month worth of work? And I'd be like, if you find it, let me know. Never seen that before in my life. But I can tell you the 20 or 30 different things you absolutely need to be doing, the different poles in the water to grow a long-term sustainable business. Because once you shift your mindset away from looking for the next quick win, that hopefully is working right now, that probably in a year or two is either oversaturated or stops working, and then hopefully you have luck enough to find the next quick win, or do you build a long-term sustainable business in a meaningful way? And does it take forever? No, I did $100,000 of cleaning sales in 1995 in a town of 30,000 people as a shy kid. So it's not difficult to generate 10,000 a month. It's what we call the hustle level. Hustle your way to 10,000 a month. There's things you can do today. There's things I talk to, interview cleaners on. You can go check our interview series. There's all kinds of ways that you can get up to that $10,000 a month where you now have the money and the muscle to then start growing the business that can grow around you. If you want to be in the truck, great. If you want to be out of the truck and have technicians working for you and that kind of thing, great as well. Like, it really depends on where you want to go, what your community looks like, and all of that. And that's what these people have done as well, clients of ours. So what we do is we help our clients become the top cleaning brand in their local marketplace. Because when you're the best known cleaner, that's our acronym. When you're the best known cleaner, you can attract the best clients. You can charge the top rates, and you can be booked out weeks in advance. So ultimately, the best known is more important than being the best. You should do a good cleaning job. You should do a really good cleaning job, and you should stay up on it, and you should be proud that you can get more stains out than anybody else, and then you're better than your competitors, and you really feel that inside. But the best person who builds the best mousetrap, as they say, is living in a house with skinny cats. The person who markets the best mousetrap is living in a mansion, right? So you want to be the person who markets your business better. That really is what you are. You are the marketer of your services now that you're the business owner, right? You've got a lot of hats you got to wear, but you've got to be able to, make the phones ring and get the jobs and get the people coming back again and get people referring you. And this is one big part of it. So how we do this is you leverage the 3 core principles of digital marketing. And you want to maximize your opportunities to generate a lead. So maximizing the opportunities to generate a qualified lead is kind of tightening it up a little bit. And where are those leads, those ideal inquiries, those ideal customers? Where are they looking? Where do they have their attention? And can you get your message in front of them, and the right message in front of them? Not 3 rooms in a hall for $99 message, but the right message that makes them go, I really want to try these guys. I don't mind if I have to pay an extra $50 or $100 because this is the company I want for all of these reasons, right? You want to maximize your brand impressions so they see you and they know you and they follow you, and people that are already customers of yours see your brand and go, oh, those are my guys. Yeah, I was going to tell my neighbor about them. And you're top of mind because of your brand impressions, and you want to maximize your conversions as well. So reputation marketing actually fits into the maximizing brand impressions and maximizing conversions element. And we'll get into that as we go, but reputation is a big part of that. So what is all the fuss about with online reputation and reviews, right? I think we kind of all understand that we need reviews now. I do talk to businesses that only got 5, 10, 15 reviews still. And they understand it's a problem, at least now. The average company has hundreds of reviews by today's day and age. If you've been around for any length of time and you know anything, you've got reviews. And we will talk about why I'm not a big fan of just chasing or hounding for reviews and why I call them static, not dynamic. But what's all the fuss about? Right? The fact is, online reviews and your reputation probably shouldn't even have the word will make or break your company. Right? So if you have issues with your online reviews, your online reputation, it's going to cause all kinds of issues all the way down the company. You're going to be attracting poor technicians that want to work for you. Everybody who's looking for a job now goes and looks at the company's reputation before they even apply or before they show up for an interview. Just think about that for a minute. Even just something as nuanced as that. Every customer obviously looks. Every referral partner obviously looks, right? There's a million reasons why people go and do a trust search before they engage with you on any level. And it doesn't just have to be customers. So that's very important. So your online reputation, think of this. Does it reflect the top quality services that you provide? And I don't just mean on Google. Is Google important? Yeah, we're going to talk about how important Google is for about 60 to 70% of the people looking for your business. The other 30 to 40%, Google's not that important at all because that's not where they go. And that's not where they look to find somebody. And that's not who they talk to and all of that. And we're getting into a world now where even like voice, hey, Alexa and stuff like that to find your service providers, again, they're not reading your reviews at that moment. So then they have to do sort of a secondary search if they want. So there's ways you need to be thinking about that. So think about, does your online reputation on social media? Does your online reputation on Yelp? because there are Yelpers out there on Angie's List and Judy's Book and Home Advisor and all the hundreds and hundreds of other places that people might go. There's kind of a hierarchy, but is your online reputation look good on those as well? Because if it doesn't, you kind of only look good in one place and not look good everywhere. And it affects your rankings, but it also affects your conversions as well. So if you invested, have you invested in any of the tools, but still not getting enough reviews, or you're getting reviews and it still doesn't seem to really be helping you, right? So there's a lot of tools out there that can promise to sort of, get you more feedback and reviews, but ultimately some of them, it just sits on their platform. It never shows up anywhere else. People don't walk through from leaving some feedback or review in one place to actually placing it somewhere else, like on Yelp or Google or Facebook or somewhere like that. So have you invested in those tools and went, not really sure if that's worth the $200, $300, $400 a month for what they do? So failure is, poor online reputation, drag you down, and it'll affect all your other marketing, waste conversion opportunities. People found you, went, nah, not those guys. I'll go with these guys instead. You spend all the money attracting them, and that money was well spent for the other business that got the work because they had a better reputation than you, right? So you don't want that to happen. So what's the opportunity? The opportunity to be seen as the provider of choice in your area and stand out from the competition. That is the opportunity, right? So if you think, well, I've got 158 reviews and there's this other guy that's got 192 and everybody else has got 50, 40, 30 or less, I'm kind of one of the providers of choice. Maybe, because are we still just talking about on Google? And I really want to challenge you on that. Think about that for a minute, because not everybody goes there. That is just a very static location, right? So it is important, but it's not the end all be all. So we want to talk about what that means and how you can actually not just generate reviews, but actually market your reputation so that you are the provider of choice, because your competitors are not doing this. At least they're not yet, a lot of them. So you want to leverage systems and psychology to drive consistent, high quality feedback. And there's a shift happening right here in the middle or the beginning of this presentation. We just changed from talking about reviews to feedback, and you're going to see why as we go through that shift needs to happen in your brain as well. There's a whole bunch of reasons why you've got to think about the feedback from your clients and customers and how that fits into your marketing message and your conversions, what you learn about that, how it changes everything about how you run your business done properly, including attracting more customers to you. Right? So you want to have your online reputation speak for itself and drive higher conversions, higher quality customers. The more discerning high-end customers aren't worried about how cheap you are. Just so you know, one of our clients, their average job is over $750 in carpet cleaning in a marketplace where they've got competitors at $79.95. Right? You're going, how? That's like 10 times more, John. I don't understand how. Because they stand out. And they're getting higher conversions at higher prices because they're owning the marketplace. So we're going to talk about what that means, how you do that as well. So success, being seen as the number one carpet cleaning or home cleaning authority in your area, and ranking accordingly, because rankings help with all of this as well. It is always an all-in perspective in marketing. It's never just shotgun one thing. It is, again, lines in the water. You don't want to be the fisherman with one really fancy, really expensive pole in the water, and somebody pulls up with 20 poles in the water and a little bit of an auto reeler system they got off of Alibaba, and they're pulling in 20 fish to your one, right? You want to be a marketer of your services, and this is a big piece, is building your reputation. So why do reviews and online reputation matter so much? Let's just get through some of the stats. Reviews are actually a ranking factor on your Google My Business, now called Google Business Profile. Probably should say GBP here. But what that is your Google Maps. Let's not overcomplicate things, right? So Google Maps has a hierarchy of where they show you, because they only got that little 3-pack, as they call it, right? It used to be 7 years ago, and then it dropped to 3. And sometimes you get an ad popped in there as well, influenced by the pay-per-click ads. But ultimately, there is 3 listings that show up. Now, why do they show up? Who are they? What is Google doing? How do you get in there? You can't buy your way in. So you have to influence your way in. And the influence is this mysterious algorithm that Google has that thousands and thousands of marketers collect together every single year. I'm part of the club that learns from all of this, and they figure out, hey, what's moving the needle right now, right? Sometimes it's you know the company with the better and more reviews moves up a little bit. All things being equal, that becomes a deciding factor. Other times it seems to be how many posts that you do and how you structure those Google posts. Do you do 3 or 4 posts a week in your Google Maps area posting, linking to the things that you do, sharing positive customer stories and like a little bit of a formula, recipe around that? Are you doing that? Sometimes that's very helpful as well. So there's, do you have all of your products and services listed in your listing, right? So there's all these things. And are you on all of these other directories? There's about 150 directories that kind of get looked at by Google to make sure that you're a credible business. There's sort of like a core 50 or so. You want to make sure on all the maps programs, you're in all of the data aggregators and all these fancy words, but you want to make sure you're everywhere so that Google goes, oh, yep, these guys are legit. And then you want to make sure you have enough reviews coming in that your review velocity, not quantity, but your velocity of new reviews is actually matching your local marketplace or slightly beating it. And that's something you've got to be aware of as well. Right? 84% of people trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation from a friend. These are national stats, right? So that makes it a conversion factor, right? So if they read reviews because they understand that they're from real live people in your local marketplace, a lot of times with faces, a lot of times with level 1, level 2, level 3, Google local guides, as they call it, people that have reviewed and commented so much about businesses that Google gives them like brownie points and said, hey, we trust you. And the higher level of trust, the more their voice is weighted inside Google's algorithms as well. So people trust online reviews, not just on Google, but also if they find them on recommendations on Facebook, if they see reviews on Yelp. And there's a point at which there's a number, right? If you've got 200 reviews, a 5.0 star rating, that actually the trust level decreases a little bit. Nobody believes that, just so you know. It's not about having a 5-star reputation everywhere. That looks fake. You can't be perfect, right? We don't walk on water here. So a 4.6 to 4.8, 4.9, that range, that's considered the sweet spot by all stats, right? So, you don't want to ever be below 4. If you're in the 3s, that's considered a bad reputation or bad reviews. So 77% of consumers think that reviews that are more than 3 months old aren't even relevant anymore. This is new. So go back to when reviews first started. Again, we're talking 12 years ago, 14 years ago, 12, 13 years ago, when it really started showing up on the landscape. It was just a matter of having a number, right? Oh, I got 10. That guy's only got 5. Oh, I got 20. I'm better, right? And people just see the numbers. Right? Well, now it's actually about how recent they are. People scroll through. We all look for the train wrecks. We want to see the negative review, and we want to read it, and we want to figure out, is that a common experience, even though it might be only 1 or 2? Think of when you go shop on Amazon and you're buying you're deciding between 2 or 3 of the same vitamin D3 with K2 supplements, right? And which one do I buy? Well, one of the things you definitely look at, well, this one's got 2,432 4.8 star reviews, and this one here's got 5-star reviews and it's got 20. It might save me $1, but yeah, I'm going to go the other way, right? So, and then you start looking at how recent they are. We do these things, especially when we're buying locally, and older than 3 months, you just doesn't even cut anymore. So you do have to have a review velocity for a bunch of reasons. One, the algorithm knows what your competitors are getting, and if you start falling behind, it's just a little bit of a hit against you in where you're going to rank. It's just one of the many things, but it's also a conversion principle, as we say up at the top here as well. So here's another example of why reviews are valuable. See, these are one of our clients over here, right? So we got carpet cleaning typed in here, and this is ChemDry Acclaim, one of our clients. And look at how many, this is one of our dashboards showing how many leads we generated for them, the average cost per lead, how much the total investment was, including our marketing expense. So again, if they book even half of these and they book 200 jobs, average job $300, right? There's $60,000 from, a $3,000 investment across all of their marketing, organic, Maps, what we're talking about here, Google Maps, and paid ads, and all of it combined together, right? And there's the breakdown of all of the paid ads, the organic ads, and then the Google Maps, right? And how many jobs came in this period of time through Google Maps because they ranked well and they have a 4.9 star rating. Here's another one, Elite. Again, 5.0. You can get it. It actually feels a little fishy to the marketplace as well. But 151 reviews, and we've got 148 calls during this period of time, right? So again, it is one of the biggest drivers, not always the biggest. A lot of times organic website ranking is actually, once you finally rank your asset, your organic website, across thousands and thousands and thousands of keyword terms and keyword clusters around your 4 or 5 main services. Once you finally get that going, your number one asset in your business is your rankings online. Your number 2 asset is your Google Maps. For sure. They're definitely a 1-2 punch in generating phone calls, leads, and awareness of your business. So the impact of Google rankings, 96% of customers look at online reviews, right? So that's the other thing we've learned, is that not just necessarily on Google, but 96% of customers that were polled said that they've actually looked at online reviews before making a local buying decision, and it's become a major conversion factor. So very, very important, right? So what are the takeaways from this section? Write a little bit down, like, chime a few into the chat as well. What have you found that, maybe that was a little bit eye-opening, or that you already knew, you're not quite sure how to work around, but think of, when we're on these types of trainings, put your thinking caps on, right? Let's all just put our thinking caps on right now and think, what are some of those things that we just learned about that we need to, keep in front of us, and remember that it's not necessarily just, got to ask for a review, but it's where you're getting them, how you're getting them, the fact that it's a wider landscape, and the impact that they can have, your reputation can have, more so than reviews. So the 5 keys to managing and controlling your online reputation, right? So we've talked a little bit about reviews and I mentioned feedback. Now let's put it all together and call it online reputation. So what are the 5 keys? You got to provide a world-class customer experience. And do you know what that word experience means? If there's actually any word I needed to stand out on this, it probably should be the word experience, because we have been in the experience economy for quite a while. People pay more for experiences than they pay for commodities, products, and services, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to be a commodity. If you're a commodity, the only difference between you and the competitors is price. And if that's the only thing, we all know you're marketing by price. You are the 99, 129, 159 whole home cleaner, right? Why? Because that's what you feel is what everybody wants. And why you feel that is because that's what everybody wants that calls you. And why does everybody want that calls you, or for the most people, for you to get jobs, is because you have nothing else separating you out, right? So you're not doing all of the good marketing, and you're not delivering a wow experience. A wow experience isn't clean carpets or clean couches or clean area. That's a given. If you can't get it clean, either nobody can, and that better be the case, or you need to go through some IICRC training and get that figured out, right? So because you have to deliver a great job, it's got to look good. You've got to, and all of that when you're done automatically. But how do you deliver a wow experience, right? If you're truck mount forums and your groups like that, you know this. Are you wearing booties? Are you rolling out the red carpet? Are you putting corner guards on? Do you have laminates and handouts for the customer? When you arrive, do you get right out of the van right away? Do you message them on the way over with a text message or whatever, saying, hey, I'm on my way. Do you want me to pick you up a coffee? Like, are you creating an experience from before, during, on the way out, all the way through? Do you do a consultation walkthrough with them? Not a quick sales pitch. Do you smell good? Is your shirt tucked in? Are you shaved? Is your technician shaven? All that kind of stuff. Might be the friendliest guy in the world, but if he looks like a bum, he's not getting referred, right? So how do you create a world-class experience? You need to be planning that in your business. World-class experience, and you need to think through all of the little moments on a job that you can engineer to deliver a world-class experience. You need to build reputation reviews into your company culture. everybody in your company, technicians, office staff, phone answering services, whatever you're using. If you're a one-man show, build it now so that when you're growing because of this, as one of the many poles in the water, because of this, as you grow, it's already baked in. You're not going to, I'll get to that down the road. I'm pretty good at it. No, make it a system. Your whole business should run like a McDonald's. It should be a machine that a 14-year-old can figure out and run and just make sure that they can still make dinner for everybody. They can't make dinner at home for themselves, but they can feed an entire family at the front counter, right? At the age of 14. How is that possible? Because of systems, right? So you want to build your reputation reviews into your company as a system. So you want to make sure that everybody gets celebrated for getting them. You want to give rewards for getting their names mentioned. You want to make sure everybody's asking. You want to make sure there's a follow-up on it. You really, really want to make sure that you're building your reputation is a big part of it. That also includes not vaping in the van and having a big cloud floating out as you're going through McDonald's or Starbucks, right? Your technician is, or whatever. Not flicking the cigarette out the window, not leaving the van vomited wide open in the driveway with everything hanging out as you're in the house cleaning. None of that creates builds your reputation, in the neighborhoods you want to be in and stuff like that as well. So it's got to be part of a company culture. And as you do anything is how you do everything is the best way to think of it. So put it in place so that as you do it, you're going to train somebody to do it. As you do this one thing, you do everything. You don't go, I hate changing my shoes at the door, so I'm just going to go across to the van really, really quickly. Hopefully the customer doesn't notice. Going to skip upstairs and go back to that back bedroom because I forgot my spotter. And lo and behold, the customer looks around the corner. You didn't even see her as she's out gardening and watched you walk across the driveway, back in the house, and back up the stairs with your dirty shoes on, right? These things are noticed. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to all of that. What you measure, inspect, and celebrate, you create more of. So you want to be counting. You want to know how many came in, how many were sent out, how many requests, who said what. If you can measure it, if you can inspect that it's being done right so that you know that it's not being left behind, and you celebrate it, you're going to get more of it. So very solid business building principle. You want to leverage processes to request feedback at every service call and communicate using multi-channels. So we're going to get a little bit deeper in this in a minute, but what that means is you want to have a process where it's automatic. Like if you're using House Call Pros, we have a system called Repignition that we built 12 years ago, part of a conglomerate that put this of SEO companies I was sitting in a room with, took all of the best practices of asking for feedback and then generating reviews from that and all of that kind of stuff and doing proper reputation marketing we'll talk about was built into a process and a tool, a couple $1 million in development so far and growing, called Repignition. And that process generates feedback automatically. If you close your invoice on the job, then it can be sent out an hour later, and you just need to create a little humanics in there. So it's always mechanics and humanics are the way we do anything. So the humanics would be how you're going to remind the client, or not incentivize, not the right word, but how are you going to trigger the client to remember that you've asked for their feedback. And there's little ways you can do that with little cues in the home, like a postcard or a flyer that you mention and put in front of her. Hey, it's really important that we get your feedback. The office is going to follow up with you with a short little survey. If you don't mind mentioning my name when you fill that out, I'd really appreciate it. And I get some brownie points back at the office, right? That's part of a process. So we actually teach that to our clients as well, all these little scripts and stuff like that, just digital marketing company, but we know how to run carpet cleaning companies. So we help teach all of these little moments that need to be part of every single customer experience. And then multi-channel means that you email them, you text them, you phone them, you have ringless voicemail, you multiple ways just to, it sounds like, John, aren't I going to bug them? Nope. No, if you've got 10 or 15, 20% of people going, it's a little too much messaging. Okay, that's good. That means you've pushed the envelope, and the other 80% totally fine with it and do what you say, right? If you say, one person called me, I'm not going to do that ever again. You're running victim to inefficient marketing and inefficient outreach. So nobody's ever become wildly successful, built an asset that's sellable or transferable to your family, your retirement, on playing the victim to the one or two customers that are the biggest complainers. So don't be that person as well. And then acknowledge and respond to every review. Big one. Big one. 90% of the clients we see don't answer every single review, good, bad, or ugly, on every platform. Do you have an alert system set up? Do you know when a review shows up on Foursquare? You know, and I don't even know what Foursquare is. Look it up, right? Do you know when a review shows up on Yelp and Facebook and Angie's List and Judy's Book and your Better Business Bureau and your Chamber of Commerce? Not just Google, but everywhere. Sure, you Google yourself all day long. I'm sure you do. Oh, look at me ranking high. Oh, look. And by the way, if you Google yourself all day long and you find yourself ranking high all day long, because you Google yourself all day long and Google has actually got your phone ID in their system and go, oh, this guy likes seeing this company. Let's just keep showing him that one. So not actually a true representation, but totally aside on that. Anyways, acknowledge every review, write a response to every single review. That's really, really, really important. And it actually helps the algorithm as well. So reviews can help move the needle a little bit, especially if they mention the company, a person's name, the city they're in, the service they've got. If they actually mention keywords, and kind of hard to get customers to mention keywords without a little bit of help or prompting, but if they do, their review actually triggers the algorithm a little bit better, a little bit more signals in your general direction. So Google's all about how many signals did you generate? And that's another signal, those little keywords in a review as well. But if you answer the review and put your own response, by all means, add some of those. Don't stuff it. Don't make it unnatural, but add those in as well. So, oops, just give me a second here. Okay. And sorry, just getting a message there. I just want to make sure everybody can still hear me. So takeaways from this, that was again, we went through those 5 major steps there. So write down your takeaways. We're kind of just going to pause for a second and make sure you write down your takeaways on this, right? So you want to see where you're maybe falling behind and what you need to do next, right? Again, we talked about this. There's a lot of tools to help with reviews. Some of them leave them on their own system and you don't even end up with these reviews on Google or Facebook or Yelp or anywhere else like that. But there's a lot of them. But here's where we're going to talk about. You really need to take it much farther than just getting reviews. We call it internally here trust engineering, right? It's a strategic and systematic plan to be seen as the expert and the market leader in your local industry. So you've got to engineer the trust. Right? You know, John, what the heck does trust engineering mean? I've never heard of this before. How do I engineer trust? Well, glad you asked. So your authority plus your 5-star reputation equals your consumer trust. So if they believe you and you're seen as an authority in the home cleaning space, on social media, in the marketplace, maybe you're in the Ask the Expert column in a local online publication or even a neighborhood mailing. You've got every door mail that isn't all about, oh, we clean for $99, but you've got every talks about, a healthy home cleaning service for discerning homeowners that want to take care of their children, their pets, their home in the right way possible. Give us a call. We'll do an in-home assessment for you. And right. There's ways that you can build authority. If you get referred a lot, you can build authority. We'll talk about some of these as well. And then your 5-star reputation, when they go, oh, this guy seems pretty, or girl seems very into this industry, very knowledgeable. I wonder if they're any good. Oh my God, they're amazing. Everywhere they look, not just Google, everywhere they look. Because if you don't get trust before or during the sale, there's no sale. If you show up at the door and the trust goes away, oh, there's that leaky van and guys in jeans and a t-shirt. What? Right? You've just lost the trust, and the potential sale, the $400, $500, $600, $700 cleaning job is gone. You might get away with still being allowed in for your discount cleaning if that's what you're doing, but there's a lot of times it turns into a quote, surprisingly, because there's no trust. The job as the owner is to build trust to get more sales, and you need to accelerate that speed of trust, right? So there are 3 rules of trust engineering to engineer it fast in the reputation economy or the recommendation economy. So recommendation economy is people ask then buy. That's where we are. So experience economy, transition into the recommendation economy. And as we're following through human evolution and economic growth and economic evolution, we need to be playing ball with that as well. We're moving into the automation economy as well. So How are we going to deal with that? Webinar for another day. So you need to have a system to request feedback from every client, right? That's rule number one. Why feedback, John? You keep talking about feedback. What's this feedback crap all about, right? Well, the feedback crap comes from one place you can prove it. It doesn't just come from the head of John Clendenning. Aberdeen Research Council, they have their CME benchmark studies that they put out every single year. Costs about $450 to buy it. I've bought it many times. And the truth is, the customer experience lives entirely in the minds of our customers. If you don't understand your customers' perception on how their interactions with your firm are truly being experienced, it's nearly impossible to regularly meet, much less exceed their expectations, right? 55% of companies that take a voice of the consumer survey. Why do all these businesses go, oh, fill out the survey, we'll put you in a contest to win this, to fill out the survey? Why? Because they know the answers are invaluable to growing the company. But 55% of the people that fill it out, the companies have a 55% greater retention rate. More people stay when they fill out a survey. They feel like they're part of your company, part of the system. They're almost like a board member, right? When they write a review, they're doing you a favor and they know it, right? But when they fill out internal feedback, it's like, yeah, let me tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, what was good, what I'd like to see more of, all that. You have an average 23% decrease in customer service costs. Why? When they fill out feedback, they allow you to fix a problem if there is one, and they forgive you on other problems because you are asking in a proper way. 292% greater employee engagement. If you can say, hey, George, look at this. You've got another customer that just absolutely loved you, that just blew them away. Wow, that's amazing. And you keep telling George and Sally and Frank all of these great things that customers are saying because you've got feedback coming in. That's good. You get reviews, sure. But if you go look at the review count, I have not seen a business that has done 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 jobs and has 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 reviews, even though they ask like crazy, right? I know that if a business does 1,000 jobs, they probably have about 100 reviews. If they did about 2,000 jobs, if they're really good, they have about 200 reviews, right? In that range. Just go back and check your own numbers. So about 10%. I also know that about 50 to 70% of your customers will fill out feedback, private internal feedback, not a public review they have to log into their account for, but they'll fill out feedback, 50 to 70% of your customers, right? And I'll show you what we do with all that feedback and how it can be marketed. But you have a 28.3% increase in company annual revenue from the companies that actually just ask for feedback. Customer loyalty goes up. They refer more. They come back more. They trust you more. You become their trusted advisor because you look like you care more, right? So you create A-list cheerleaders. They're 5 times more responsive, right? You can market them your best offers. Anybody that fills out feedback in your company and submits it in is a better customer to market to. They're more likely to give you answers when you ask, questions. Hey, I'm thinking of adding this new service. What do you think? Would you ever be interested in it, right? That could be a survey or a poll. Might as well send it out to people that gave you feedback in the past. And it's better than just sending it out to your entire list and getting crickets, right? So, and why not ask if you're looking at adding tile and grout cleaning, if you're looking at adding hardwood floor cleaning and stuff like that? Why not ask your customers if they'd be interested, right? If they'd like to be part of if you started up the service, you'd like to have a few customers that would get a bit of a savings as, to be your for initial case studies, things like that, right? So get their input on stuff like that. So anyways, so they love you much more. And it's the 80-20 rule every day is that, 20% of your customers give you 80% of the referrals. 20% of your customers are the happiest and will come back and repeat and do all of that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure you're finding out who that top 20% is. They're also the ones that give you the most money in the lifetime value of your business. A well-run carpet cleaning business, the lifetime value of a customer is $5,000 to $8,000 on average, and that is, if you're pricing your average job is $300-400. If your average job is $100 to $200, the average lifetime value of those clients is under $500. Now, not my studies, but industry studies. So you really do want to pick, and feedback helps you cherry pick your better customers, and their friends and family are better by and large as well, right? At least the people they hang out with. Maybe they don't have a control over their family, but definitely their friends. So feedback, anyone who had less than a perfect experience, you now have an opportunity to save them. We call it in our business our recipe for recovery. So anytime somebody fills out negative feedback and it goes right to the desk of the manager, it's immediately acted upon. In my carpet cleaning business, that was, how do we solve this right now? Heather picked up the phone, called the customer. The technician knew they were going back. We brought a gift with us. Oh, I'm so sorry we had to come back. Let's solve the problem. We went over and above. Why? Because we're given the opportunity to fix a problem and save a customer. You don't always get that opportunity. In today's day and age with online reviews, the last thing you want is somebody going and flaming you on 10 different platforms. And why do they flame you? Because they don't think that the business owner or manager will ever learn about the problem. So you want to avoid negative online reviews, and you want to generate ongoing positive feedback that you can share with your staff, right? So you can't do any of this by going, oh, can you give me a review on Google? Here, let me send you my link. And I'm not going to send this lady that link. I'm not going to even talk to her about it because she seems a little grumpy, right? She's still going to know how to do it anyways, right? You didn't send her the link, but if she's pissed or grumpy about something, she's going to go on and give you a negative review anyways. Why not preempt it by saying, hey, the office is going to follow up with you for feedback on the work that we did today. I'd really appreciate if you mentioned my name in the feedback when you fill that out. I really appreciate it. And you're going to be entered into our contest to win a $50 Amazon gift card that we give away every quarter, right? Whatever it is. You can come up with ideas. We actually have a little bit of coaching and strategy on how to do that as well. So, right? So, again, benefits of all that as a byproduct, you now get more online reviews. You ask for feedback first. Oh, thank you so much for your great feedback. I'm going to share that with the office. I'm going to share that with the staff, right? And now you get to ask, if you do me one more favor, it really helps when people are online. They're looking at places like Google, Facebook, Yelp, around places like that. And when they read really happy comments from people like you, it just helps us a lot more. If you don't mind taking your comments and sharing them out on one or all of these platforms, that would be helpful as well. You actually end up with more reviews by asking for feedback, not reviews. Kind of weird. Okay. So what does it look like to request feedback? Right? You need a customer, you need some sort of a system in place where you trigger the multi-touch feedback request. So emails, text messages, if they didn't respond a day or two later, it sends another one. Hey, sorry, you might have missed this, right? Just nice and gentle and subtle, written really, really well so that it feels natural. And you're just following up with them a couple of times to try and get as much as possible, right? To try and get as many as possible. Not everybody responds to the first email or message they get. Think of it yourself. Then dentist emailed you. Oh, Jim, it's time for a cleaning. Oh yeah, it's time for a cleaning. Huh. Oh, yeah. Hey, Tom. Yeah, hand me that thing there. I want to buy. Yeah, whatever. And 2 days later, hey, Jim, you didn't get back to us. It's time for your cleaning. Oh, right. Same thing here. You got to do that, right? You want to take them to a survey page that they can fill out. Nice and easy. Very professional looking survey page. You want them to be able to write tell us about your experience with the company at the bottom, answering a bunch of questions, and then tell us about their experience. And you want to be able to smart route them. If it's negative, right to the desk of the manager owner right away. If it's happy, you can route them to saying, hey, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. We'd love it if you could do one more step and direct them to the different outlets online where they should be providing their reviews, right? Rule number 2, dominate online by reputation marketing. So your website should have reviews on it, not cherry-picked reviews, not just here's the 5 that scroll past, right? And it's always the same 5. You should have a dynamic live review widgets and systems on your website. So maybe in the bottom corner in every site, it pops up every few seconds. Here's another review. Here's another review, all different platforms. If they click on it, it takes them right to that platform and sees that person's real review. That creates another signal between Google and your website. It's actually a ranking signal. It helps as well because there's always new content. Those are changing all the time. Somewhere down the page, you have an area where there's a couple of live reviews or live feedback being fed in, right? So always changing content. Every time Google comes back, oh, there's been a change to this website, right? That helps as well. And it's also very dynamic and real. And then a page on your website where you catalog all of your your written reviews, your feedbacks, your videos, customer testimonial videos, all of it, right? So your website should be loaded with that. Your social media should also get those. This is where we talk about syndicating, the difference between static and dynamic. All of the feedback and every review sitting on any individual platform should be brought in to your business, downloaded. It should be turned into all the positive reviews, turned into social media content, and posted on social media sites as images and text, because text is read by the internet. So let's put images and let's text. Let's make it look pretty. Let's make it scroll past every couple of days so that when anybody comes to your social media pages, they see some good stories about you doing the good cleaning. They see some happy customer stories. They see a review or testimonial. They see, how to take care of their home, how to have, how to live green, how to live healthy. Another story about a good cleaning job, and it's a recipe. You want to make sure your social media is active that way. You want to make sure that you've got pictures on the image sharing sites as well of those reviews. You want to have videos. We like to use a spokes model. We haven't switched to AI yet. We use a studio and spoke models to actually deliver a review message, green screen, standing in front of your office, in front of your van, inside a home, and actually talking about a great client experience. One of the best reviews of the month turns into a video that can be shared around, because now you're building your authority. Now you're building your reputation, right? And you're marketing your reputation. And when anybody lands on your website, did you know that 90 to 95% of the visitors that come to your website just leave? Go look at your Google Analytics. Go look at the stats. If you have a high converting website, you might increase that by 5 or 10%, right? Because people are there for a whole bunch of different reasons. So once they leave, are you chasing them around? It's called remarketing or retargeting. Are you chasing them around with a message? What's the best message? We've tested this across hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars by this point for cleaning businesses. What is the best message to chase somebody around with? It's not an offer or a deal. That does not get clicked on at all. This is like when they go to the Weather Network and CNN and Fox News and ESPN and that kind of thing, and MarthaStewart.com, anywhere that has ads. If they came to your website, they got cookied. They go somewhere else, they see your brand. What we have found is the one that gets the best clicks is testimonials and reviews and reputation-based ads. Your logo, your brand. But hey, I had an amazing cleaning experience with these guys. I'd recommend them. Sally M of Spokane, Washington, right? And then click here to learn more. And they get back to your website and learn more, right? Rule number 3, position yourself as the local authority in your category. Don't just be one of many. Let's stand out here. I just did a call recently, Take 5 with Clean Facts, good friend Jeff Cross, and we were talking all about podcasting as something a cleaning business could do. Kind of weird. Go take a look at that. It's up on the ISSA YouTube channel and on cleanfacts.com. Go look at that. Watch that. It's a little 5 or 6 minute segment, but we kind of talk about that as well, because it is part of this authority build, right? So you want to position yourself as authority. So you want to deploy some prolific authority branding. So what does that mean? You want to make sure that the look of your vans and your company and everything, everywhere you go, is just on point. You come across like an authority. The chamber meetings that you go to, you don't just kind of show up in jeans and a t-shirt, right? You know, all of that kind of stuff, the BNI groups and the door hangers and the yard signs and the technicians and all that. You want to make sure that all of that is high-end branding, is just top notch and matches your theme and your company. You want to publish authoritative content. You want to be, rank your website. You need to be doing a blog post a week, right? You need to be doing press releases and link building and all that. If you want your website to rank and become that powerhouse of driving leads and growing your company, hundreds and hundreds of leads a month, inquiries, because it ranks for everything, right? Well, that content is from you. Google actually ranks content pages based on an algorithm called EEAT, and it stands for expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. How do they determine that? Are you a voice in the field that you're in? Are you sharing your voice? Well, how do you do that? You can get people to ghostwrite it for you, but you have content every single week. You have a press release as if somebody interviewed you, and there's all kinds of things like that you can do. You want to leverage referral partners. You're seen as an authority if everybody's recommending you. If somebody calls up their flooring store, if somebody calls their real estate agent, if somebody goes to their maid service or anywhere and says, hey, who would you recommend? And they're all saying the same name, you're becoming an authority in your marketplace. You want to share project stories on social groups, right? So you want to share your story and your customer stories and how you made a win for them, not a sales pitch. Oh, give us a call. We'll do this for you. No. Just, hey, look at a great job we just did and how we helped this customer out. We love doing this, right? You become an authority because you're sharing them into these business owner groups and private groups in your local marketplace. And you want to distribute local expert press release. We talked about PR and guest articles. Is there anywhere that you can write an article about cleaning for health? Is there any magazines and little community papers and things like that? Even if you have to pay for it, can you become the local expert on indoor air quality and health, as an example, right? You know enough about it. You've gone through enough training on it, right? How to clean using, safe, natural products, right? Doesn't just have to be carpets or taking spots out, and you could become that expert that people see. You don't even realize it, but it just all over the place. It just people see, oh my God, I want that guy, I want that guy, I want that. Oh my God, look at his reviews. Now they go online. Oh my God, let me check out his website. Oh, look at all this great comments and testimonials. All of it. They go to your social media. Oh, look at all this. See, it all ties together, right? What does it look like? Well, our reputation marketing process map looks like this. Our clients do this right here. That's it. They do one step. There's a purchase made and somebody's entered in. Everything else, by messaging the customer, following up with them, chasing, taking those kind comments, turning them into images and text and all that, putting them all around the web. All of that is a process map that we call reputation marketing, and it's part of our recognition system. But that there alone is the mechanics that build it, right? So, question: you want to see what it looks like after it's all humming along? Do you want to see what this looks like in a real business? Let's take a look at it. So videos, right? Got videos, those spokesmodel videos running on YouTube, running on Facebook, being syndicated and shared around the web all over the place, 150, 200 different locations, get those syndicated to them, right? You want to have images all over the internet as well. Some basic static ones, some ones with smiling faces on it, all of that kind of stuff. You want to really grab people's attention, right? You want to have, you can have paid ads targeting your reputation, right? So you can take some of your best customer stories, some of your best customer testimonials, and actually run them as ads on social media. Works really, really well, right? So look at this one here. I think this is about a $40, $50 campaign. 3,913 individual people saw that ad, right? You want to, again, captivating image posts as well. So not just the static ones, but look at 197 people saw this post on this. And all it was a review or a feedback that came in. Probably wasn't even a review on any review site. A feedback came in that got shared out. Smiling faces, people look at them. You want to make sure all your digital storefronts, right? So we talked about YouTube there. There's the cover graphic. There's a review. These should be switched up on a regular basis, or a feedback, a testimonial of some sort. There's Facebook. Modify your cover graphics to tell the right story, right? There's Twitter. See the way they're all congruent, and you switch those up every 3 or 4 months to a new images, seasonally themed, and a new testimonial, and what you do, why you do it, why you guarantee it. Again, you want to retarget. So here on CNN, here's reputation-based ads, right? There's on the Weather Channel, reputation-based ads all over the internet, right? 59,000 impressions, 100 clicks back to the website, and 64 post-click conversions, which meant a phone call. Because they saw the website or whatever, they went to a landing page. Imagine you're running pay-per-click campaigns and people land on the landing page and then they leave. And they did not do anything. Only about 1 in 5 actually picks up the phone and calls somebody, even after clicking on an ad in pay-per-click and getting to a really, really well-made landing page. 1 in 5, if the landing page is amazing, maybe 1 in 4. The other ones leave for a variety of reasons. If you can chase them around with inexpensive retargeting and get them to come back, they're far more likely to convert. Right. So then we're talking about on a website. There's an example of live streams. They click on it. There's examples of a review page that has all kinds of other reviews. There's an example of a corner pop, as we call it, as part of our recognition system. But people can see that. They click on the see more, and they can go through all of the hundreds of reviews and click on them and go right to the source, right to Yelp, right to Facebook, right to Google, all of that kind of stuff. So let's do a quick recap here because we're at the top of the hour and I want to get you guys on with your day. But so the top trusted companies get the most work. We know that. If you're trusted, you get more work than if you're cheap. Period. Your public and social reputation must be your number one focus. You've got to start with reputation. If you're doing a couple $1,000s a month, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, you have to be aiming at your reputation because it is the thing that moves the needle the most as far as all your other marketing hinges on that. The best customers do not look for the lowest price. They look to figure out who they're going to trust. All of your advertising efforts and money, online, offline, word of mouth, is being impacted by what people see when they look you up. What does it look like when they type in your business name with the word complaints or reviews beside it? Go do it yourself. Figure out what that looks like, not just over on the right side if you're on a desktop, but right down on the left side, all the way down. What does it look like? Are they seeing videos of you, your reputation? Are they seeing posts? Are they seeing images? Are they seeing all of these directories and review sites all listed showing positive reviews of you, right? Are you on all of them? Are you active on all of them, right? Do you have a team that does that for you? A company, right? When you build and then market your 5-star reputation, positioning yourself as the market leader to attract more clients and grow your business is way easier. It's obvious, in fact, right? Skip this step. That's the hardest thing to possibly do. Oh, you guys think you're really good? Nobody else does, right? So the bottom line, reputation marketing equals more customers and more profit. It takes time. Good business, good marketing takes time. There's no overnight success. An overnight success in the music world is 10 years? Right? An overnight success in business. Yeah, you might get lucky. You might be the first person that found local service ads in your marketplace for a while. And oh my God, they're only $15, $17, $20. There's marketplaces now where it's $65 a phone call on local service ads. And with the right company, with the right business and the right average job and the right system in place, that is well worth it. Maybe it takes you 2 or 3 jobs to get one, 2 or 3 phone calls to get one booking. You spend $180 to buy the customer, but your average job is $700. It's well worth it. And the lifetime value of that client is $8,000. Of course, you pay $180 to land an $8,000 lifetime value customer, right? But all of that comes from being able to do that is being able to build your brand authority around your reputation, right? So what are you going to implement? Take a minute, write down your 3 top things. What are you going to implement right now? Because without it, it is affecting your company. If you got a lot of reviews, hey, I'm proud of you. Happy. That is a really good thing. You got a lot of reviews on Google. What about everywhere else? Are you listed everywhere else? Have you done a report to see where you are listed and what your online visibility and online reputation looks like? Have you ever walked through that just to kind of take a snapshot, right? So, steps to implement. Put together an online survey, create a unique review capture page of some sort, write the emails and the SMS as a series, set them up to send them out, train your staff to request, ask for how to request. Even your office staff can follow up next day. And one of our clients used to follow up at the end of the month. Hey, we're wrapping up our contest. I just noticed you haven't given us feedback yet. If you'd like to give me it over the phone right now, I'll put it in the system and make sure that you're in that contest. And they got it from everybody, right? Like 90% of their customers left feedback. And again, way better business, locked everybody in, right? As customers, because they're feeling part of the company. Publish and post your reviews and your feedback on your website and on social media everywhere. Create shareable social images to share and syndicate and market your reputation. Monitor all of the directory sites for positive and negative reviews to respond to. And if you don't have time to set it up, right? Seems like a lot of things to do. The easy button, go here. Go to carpetcleanermarketingmaster.com/scan. You'll be able to put in your business name and your phone number. It will run a full report on you. It will do a deep dive. We're using advanced analytics and AI to look at a lot of stuff. It takes a little bit of time to actually run. It costs us a little bit, little bit of money to actually run these reports. We're running a lot of algorithms in the background, but we're going to find out your voice online. We're going to find out your reputation online. We're going to find out your directory listings online. We're going to do all of it. We're going to see what you're missing. You're going to get a very, very detailed report, right? And now you can find out where you are, right? You can get a full visibility grade and a reputation grade. We'll even grade your website for you on its voice as well, right? We've just added that in recently using some really advanced AI modeling to be able to find out what I would normally sit and scan through and manually write out. We've kind of trained them to think like me, and we're now using AI to actually help, have a little mini John run around and say, you're missing this voice. You don't really have this message in the right place on your website as well. So we've really expanded this visibility report. So if you just go to carpetcleanermarketingmasters.com/scan, good place to go. And let's start taking a look at that. So takeaways, right? Write them down. We talked about it already. You want to go to carpetcleanermarketingmasters.com/rewards if you want to get that kit, that bundle of all of the things that you should be doing, including our grassroots guide and how you should be out knocking on doors and how to do that and how to think through that and how to, plan that and implement it. Because it's good to have all these ideas, but if you haven't figured out how to implement ideas in a very cohesive way, if they just end up in the mud and they never get implemented, you need an action plan. And I did a whole training for years. I coached called Implementation is Everything, how to actually break down something you want to put in place into the bite-sized steps. Who's going to do it? When's it going to get done by? Who's accountable? And get it done. So a little bit of thinking on the front end and just follow the plan. That's included in this as well. So all kinds of good stuff. And if you need any help, right, we have our program called The Best Known Cleaner, where we tie all of this stuff together. Reputation marketing down here, Google Maps, paid ads, social media, SEO, websites, all tied together into a very cohesive marketing plan. There is not one pole that you can put in the water to make this work. If you want to run a reputable business, you need a great website that has a great brand voice, that has, great SEO that's ranking it organically. You've got to have social media. You have to have paid ads running. You have to have Google Maps generating phone calls and work, and your reputation has to be over top of all of that, tying it all together. And you've got to build that over time. You've got to let that just build and bubble and build and bubble. None of it is just a quick fix, right? So your paid ads work better when you've got all the rest of it right. Your Google Maps works better when you've got all of it right and all that kind of stuff. So you can definitely reach out to us about that. We call it our digital dominance method. Looks a little fancy. You can go onto our website and learn all about it. But these are all of the things that we work with you on and we do consulting on while we're building for you. So you're kind of learning and getting things put in place as well. So that's what we do. If you want to know a little bit more about that, carpetcleanermarketingmaster.com. So marketing masters with an S, carpetcleanermarketingmasters.com/schedule. You will hear from Krisha. She can chat with you, find out where your business is at right now, where you want to take it, and we can create a strategy plan for you. And we call it our growth and strategy consultation. It's not a sales call. It is a consultation to help your business move to the next step. If we can be involved in that help, we'd love to be. If we're involved right now because you jumped on this webinar, you watched this replay, we're loving that too. So hopefully everybody found this valuable. Understand the world of reputation and reputation marketing, not management, why feedback is more important than reviews, and how it's the catalyst and the mesh that goes around everything you do to make everything about your business better if you've got this piece nailed down. So hopefully this was helpful. Go back and watch the replay if you need to hear the information again, take notes, and reach out to us. Tell us what you thought. We'd really appreciate that. And until next time, guys, thanks so much.